my name's Ben Davis. I'm a director of photography. I'm here to introduce myself to you. I'm heading up the jury on the annual FilmLight Colour Awards, and I'm here to sort of praise and appreciate the work of a colorist. My relationship with colorists and colour grading starts at the very advent, really, of that particular role. I started out finishing films on film with there was obviously a colorist as such in the lab, who was your lab contact, and you would go, in those days you'd go in, you'd shoot your film, you'd go in, there'd be an edit done, then you would go in to the lab and they would project it, a print of it, a working sort of print of the film, and you would sit there and it would run at real time and you would call out your colour grading. Oh, it's too warm, oh, too dark, too light, as it ran in real time. You couldn't at that point rock and roll the projector, so you would literally see it at real time. Someone would take notes of what you'd shout out, and then you would go back 3 or 4 days later and you'd watch that, and then you do another round of notes, and maybe, depending on the budget of your film, you would do that for 2 or 3 times, maybe 3 or 4 times. And that would be it. There was no power windows and there was no, you didn't have the controls you have now. The next generation of that was the first film I kind of finished with a colorist. You were grading, I think it was layer cake, and we were the grading suite was on a monitor, and it was a basic spirit system, I think it was then. And you would grade on a monitor, and then later on there would be a digital negmate, and you'd see that printed on film, projected. And now we move to where, when I go into the DI suite now, the level of control is enormous. There are power windows, there are different plugins for different film emulation LUTs, there is tracking software that is almost instantaneous. So the control we have now is, it's amazing. The advancements are huge, and I applaud and appreciate all of them. And I really enjoy the collaboration with a colorist. First of all, the term colorist is not a term, that name, that really doesn't do the role justice, the word colorist, because there's so much more involved. It sort of suggests that someone's just dealing with colour, but you're obviously dealing with so many different things. And that relationship is integral to the finish of the film. It's hard, when judging colour grading, it's quite difficult because we're going to be looking and judging a finished product. So what has the colorist contributed to the final look? And you have to sort of try and pick that apart. There are some films where the colorist work is just fine-tuning really good cinematography, but there's always a relationship there. And the colorist's work, on other occasions, the colorist may be completely changing and creating a look from something that is shot in a more neutral way. I think the first thing is the thing that I've learned as a cinematographer, the same thing applies when you're making a film, is the thing to look at is the narrative. It's always the narrative. Read the script would be the first bit of advice I'd give to any colorist. Before you start even looking at the finished film, read the script first so you understand what the intention was. Then obviously watch the film through. And then if you can, try to get hold of any of the information that was used in the pre-production of the film, because there'll be a lot of reference material a lot of discussions will have gone on before the commencement of principal photography between designers, DPs, and there'll be a lot of reference material, there always is. And try to get a look at that if you can. Ask the DP to send you the references that you're working to and any inspirations that you may have used in the making of the film, so that when they arrive in the DI suite, you're armed with the same information that they started with. Because believe me, when you get hold of them, anything that you're seeing in the end of that film, when it's edited and put together, there'll have been countless amounts of meetings and work and that's put together to come up with what the look of that film is, and you have to have some respect for the work that's gone on before.